Hey, there's so many different kinds of balance in this world. Good versus evil, work versus life balance. And also, the most important one, arguably, is the balance that's going to keep you out of the emergency room. Today, we're going to be finishing our four-part series, Dance Your Heart Out, with Caryn Cooper and myself, Dr. Daniel Davids, the traveling physical therapist. Sit tight, and we got a great show for you. Hey, my name is Dr. Daniel Davids. I'm a physical therapist, and I run the Traveling Physical Therapist. We provide in-home Medicare-covered physical therapy throughout Long Island. We focus on education, equipment, and services in your home. And today, we're going to be focusing on education. And as always with me, I have Caryn Cooper from Dance to Wellness, who's going to absolutely knock it out of the park on our balance segment today. Caryn, what's going on?
Oh, hello there. I'm just here balancing around. Anyways, so my name is Caryn Cooper, and I'm the founding director of Dance to Wellness. And we focus on doing fitness and nutrition programs for older adults and seniors. And as it was already mentioned, today we're going to be focusing on balance exercises. Whoa. Oh, you thought I was going to fall? Of course not, because I have amazing balance. So, for balance exercises, they are basically exercises that strengthen your muscles that help you stay upright. These are basically focusing on muscles that include your legs, your glutes, also known as the butt muscles, your core, which consists of parts of your stomach, and also your back. And so the benefits of doing balance exercises is that it improves your ability to participate with your family and friends with the reduced risk of fear, of falling, and getting injured. It improves your stability, so you feel more steady on your feet. It increases your body awareness, so knowing where your body parts are oriented in space. Decrease your risk of falling. Whoa! I fell.
Are you okay, Caryn?
I'm good. I'm good. It also improves your reaction time. So if you think you're gonna fall, it helps you to rebalance yourself if you're off center. So this is me off center. And now I'm centered. Woo! And it also decreases your risk of injury as a result of a fall. And now I'm turning it back to Daniel.
Hey, everyone. So first off, Caryn, that was excellent. And are you okay from that fall? I want to make sure that you didn't injure yourself there, hurt your ankles, knees, hips, or shoulders.
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Very good. So I want to just break down for you the different parts of balance, the things that you're going to need to know right now, and a few things that you could do to test yourself right now while you're watching this video to see how your balance is. But before I do, I want to answer you a question. Do you know what this is? I'm sure you've seen one of these before. This is a Honeywell thermostat. Now, you may have seen that in your house, or if you're a father, you probably yelled at someone, "Don't touch the thermostat." Well, I'm going to tell you how that thermostat applies to your balance. It provides a feedback loop. So our bodies work in these feedback loops. When we lean forward, here, I'm going to go a little bit on angle here. When we lean forward, our body tells us to go backwards. And then so we lean back. And if we lean back too much, our body tells us to move forward. And it goes back and forth like that. But you're thinking, sure, why is that important now? I'm not on a boat. Well, the first thing we're going to do to test out the first system of your balance is your visual system, your eyes. And if you want to test out your eyes, very simple. You want to stand in a safe place, nothing around. In fact, if you can find a corner of the room where you're at least surrounded by two different walls, that would be great. Otherwise, what you could do is you're going to stand with your feet. I'm going to see, yeah, I think you can see my feet here. You're going to stand with your feet touching each other like this, okay? And you're going to close your eyes. Put your hands across your chest. I'm going to do it. You don't have to trust me that my feet are together. I'm going to do it. Just watch what happens to my body, okay? Just watch. It'll take a second or two. If you have HD camera, 4K, you'll see this a little easier. There you go. I feel it. Caryn, can you see what's happening here?
I do.
Or not too much. I'm swaying, and I'm not trying to sway, but that's how our bodies work. When we close our eyes, we sway. In fact, even when our eyes are open, we sway. but our visual system helps us to minimize that sway. Now, if you have a problem with your vision, certainly you can imagine your balance is going to be off a little bit. Now, what would make someone have poor vision? Well, when do you think most falls happen? In the daytime or at nighttime? Nighttime, exactly. The reason being is because as the lights get lower and there's less light coming into your eyes, it's harder to see things. And so we end up having a lot more falls, especially at night. Think about how many times you've tripped up on your way to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Right? It's always important to have a flashlight with you right next to your bed. Okay, so that's the first test. The next test is going to be for your inner ears. Now, you have these crazy tunnels in your inner ears that are really incredible, and they tell us where we are in space, and they tell us where gravity is, meaning if gravity is pulling you down, our inner ears know that. If you're upside down on a roller coaster, your inner ear is telling you that you're upside down. It's a wonderful thing, but we could also have a lot of issues with our inner ear. And because of that, it's important that we train our inner ear, just like we train our vision and we train our muscles and joints. So I'm going to show you a quick way that you can test your own inner ear. And this one, it's a little tricky, I'll be honest with you. So if you're doing this one, and you can test yourself with this one, I would do it maybe next to maybe your kitchen counter, because you may lose your balance. So I'm going to just show you from here. I'm going to walk towards the camera, looking left and right at the same time. And I could tell you, that was not the straight line that I started on. I kind of made a little bit of a curve, especially when I turned my head to the right. I curved a little bit to the right, and then I fixed it a little bit. Now, that's not uncommon, but you want to be able to walk straight with your head turning left to right. And why is that important? Who's doing that? Have you ever seen anyone walk down the street like this? So, yeah, I'm going to go to the grocery store after this. No, that's not something people do. However, when you talk to someone and you're walking, it's not uncommon to have your head turned, and that can absolutely cause you to lose your balance. Think about when you're turning a corner. If you ever turned a corner and felt maybe like you need an extra step, you felt a little dizzy, it's not uncommon, doesn't need to be treated. Okay, the last of the systems that we're going to talk about for balance is something called the somatosensory system. Now, there's a lot of different ways to test this. And I'm going to tell you what the somatosensory system is. I'm going to show you a fun way that you can do something right now without even having to get up out of the chair. So here's what you have. The somatosensory system is a mixture of your joints, and your muscles telling your brain where you are in space. Caryn mentioned that before. Where are we in space? That term is called proprioception. Okay, so knowing where we are in space is very important. Our bodies tell us this. Our muscles tell our brain. Our joints tell our brain this. It's an incredible thing. And I'm going to teach you something you could do. And Caryn, you should try this too. Right now, you could do this. I'm going to explain it first, then I'm going to do it. You're going to close your eyes. You're going to put your hand out in front of you. You're going to use your other hand. You can use your pointer finger on your other hand to touch the tip of your ring finger. So watch this. Eyes closed. Okay, and I'm going to get nice and close and show you. I missed. This was where I was aiming for. This is where I got. Caryn, did you get it?
Let me try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so same as me.
Too.
I missed too, right. And that's your somatosensory system. And you'd be impressed because there's a way that is a little bit easier, I like to think, that you could test yourself and you could see that it actually does work pretty well, is if you put your arm in any position. Let's say it's right here. I have my arm right here. I can put my other arm in the same position just about. And now open my eyes. Yeah, they're about equal, maybe they're off by maybe a centimeter or two, but not much. The point is that it's very close. That's our somatosensory system. So you have 3 different ways that you can test your balance, and there's 1,000 more. And if you have more questions about this, you can take a look at this book that I wrote called That Really Helpful Book on Fall Prevention. Yeah, I'm not very creative with titles. So that really helpful book on fall prevention, it goes into depth and it gives you a bunch of other tests that you can do on yourself to help assess your own balance. Besides that, I want to hit one last thing important to speak to you about before I throw this back to Caryn, which is the importance of flexibility and strength in your training, in your life, not just when you do with physical therapy, but what you do in everything in your life. Flexibility and strength is so important to your balance. Your flexibility helps to improve your proprioception. So if you don't have a lot of motion in your joints, your body isn't getting too much feedback. The more feedback your body gets, the better it's going to be, the better your ability to know where you are in spaces. So flexibility is super important. very important for you to do. The next one is going to be strength or stability. This one's going to help you make changes quickly, like Caryn mentioned, your reaction time, and it's also going to help you do the activities so you don't fall. So for example, walking upstairs. No one wants to fall walking upstairs, but unless you have the strength to be able to lift your body up, you're going to be using a lot of extra muscles or other muscles, and that could lead to walking incorrectly, which could lead to falling down, and you don't want to do that. So Caryn, I'm going to toss this right back to you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much if you did that test, if you did those tests. And if you have any questions, certainly you can reach us out on our website. We have this book available. And Caryn, why don't you take it from here?
Why, thank you. So, when we're talking about dancers and thinking about dancers who have pretty good balance, I personally think of ballet dancers. And so that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do some basic ballet moves. Now, you might be thinking, ballet, oh, too hard. Now, of course, I'm not asking you to break out on Lincoln Center and do the Nutcracker or Swan Lake, but I am going to ask you to do some basic ballet bar movements. Now, these are simple movements that you can do right over your kitchen sink and hold onto the counter for balance as if that's your ballet bar. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using my chair. So let's get started. Are you ready, Daniel?
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. So I'm turning on my circus music. All right. So I'm going to go to my chair. That's my ballet bar. And we're just going to have our feet in parallel. So just having your toes facing forward about hip length apart. And we're just going to do a couple of bends of the knees. Really simple. So just bending and straightening, and bending and straightening. Now this is called a plie, which just means to bend the knees. From here, we're just going to slowly lift our heels off the floor and lower the heels back to the floor. And so this in ballet is called a releve, which means that we're rising off the floor. So we'll do this one more time. This time, you can test your balance. You can see if you can let go with one hand. And if that feels really good, you can see if you can let go of the other hand. Whoa, check out that balance happening here. All right, you can lower your hands back onto your ballet bar and slowly lower the heels. From here, we're just going to starting with one leg going out to the side, so pointing the toes and bring it back together. Pointing the toes and bring it back together. And this time we're just going to hold it out to the side and bring it in. Other leg, we're going to point and close. These are called tendus, which means we're just stretching our leg out to the side. We're holding it here and bring it in. We're going to do it again. So with the first leg, so bring it out and in, out and in. This time we'll hold it. You can lift standing on one leg, lower and close other leg, out and in, out and in. Same thing, out, hold it, lift the leg slightly, lower and down. Good. Now for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to turn to the side. So I'm going to have the chair on my side here. And so you can have your hand on the hip here. And what you're going to do is you're just going to bring the toes right above the ankle on your standing leg. So we're standing on one leg and bring it down. And the same thing on the same foot, bring it back over the ankle and lower. Switching legs, coming up and down, coming up again and down. Good. From here, we're going to lift the leg up again to the ankle. We're going to stretch the leg to the front, lower the leg, and down. So this is called a développé because we're developing the leg up in the air. So same thing with the other leg. Lift above the ankle, slowly stretch it forward. You can test your balance here if you want. And lower the leg and close. And for our grand finish, we're just going to bend the knees and we'll take a nice curtsy for our ladies here. And for our gentlemen, a nice bow. All right. Back to you, Daniel.
Thank you very much. That was the Carynest thing I've ever done in my life. So that was great. I love it. I know nothing about ballet, so it was exciting to see you do that. It was exciting to participate with that. I had a wonderful time, and you know, it's no surprise. It's a challenge, but a fun one. It was fun to do it, and I like that music you picked. So concludes our fourth in our four-part series. I'm gonna miss this. The fourth in a four-part series called Dance Your Heart Out, where Caryn Cooper and myself are going to be teaching or have taught you all the different things what did we speak about so far? Cardiovascular health, your heart and lungs. We spoke about your spine, keeping it healthy, arthritis, and keeping your joints loosey-goosey, and now balance. So I think we did a pretty good job. Well, what do you think, Caryn? Do we deserve a little pat on the back?
I think so. Pat, pat, pat. Pat, pat, pat.
All right, I'll take a little pat as well. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, you could always reach out to Caryn, and she's going to tell you how to reach out to her. Caryn Cooper, how do we get in touch with you in Dance to Wellness?
Yeah, so you can always find us on the website, www.dancetowellness.org. You can also find me on social media at Dance to Wellness, both on Facebook and on Pinterest.
Excellent. And if you have any questions about physical therapy or anything balance related, certainly you can reach us at www.thetravelingpt.com right down here, or you can give us a call at 646-733-4737. And if you're interested in this book that I was mentioning before, that really helpful book on fall prevention, if you actually mention, you call us or reach out to the website, you mention these videos, we're actually going to send you a digital copy of this for free. So this will be yours for free, really chock full of very good information. Caryn Cooper, I'm going to miss you. You were fantastic.
Why, thank you. I'm going to miss this too.
I think we should definitely do this again soon. If you guys have any ideas for topics that you want us to cover, anything, especially anything that could be a little mix between physical therapy and dance, and gosh, there's got to be a million topics that we can discuss, please write something down in the comments. We'd love to know. We want to be able to help out. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for participating. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for watching our four-part series, Dance Your Heart Out. And I guess, well, we'll have to see you soon, right? All right.
Definitely.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.